In today's episode, we are going to be discussing what high achievers are truly afraid of. And it's not what you think. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Rescripted Podcast, where we could celebrate the great things in life, share about the not so great parts, and find out how we can rewrite those challenges, turn them into insightful moments that will lead us to change, to growth, to happiness, and empowerment, all so that we can live the life we truly want to experience. As high achievers, we are so excited to start a new project, a new task. We love to get that to-do list so we can start working on it. We're the first ones to jump at it because we realize in order to get something done, you got to jump on it, right? You can't wait. And it's even exciting starting something new. But what happens at the end of the road when you've done so much, you achieved so much, and yet you feel empty? That right there is exactly what high achievers are scared of. They're scared of devoting a life to the wrong path and actually missing out on their true potential. You see, the reason why a high achiever is so excited to start a new project, so excited to get the task done and have it to completion is because they're in a search for something. They're chasing something. And although on the external, it looks like the achievements, it may look like accolades, there's something a little deeper. And sometimes we don't know what it is, right? Because we're just building skills. When we first start off, that's all it is. You're building data, you're building skills, you're learning what you're good at, you're knowing what you like. So all the while, you're going ahead and trying all these things. But then when you put them all together, do they really give you a full picture of you? Or is it just that you're so talented you can do anything that's thrown your way? Well, although I must admit it is great to be able to do anything that's thrown your way, it doesn't really make sense if they don't all align up to one central thing. Because what you're really in chase of, what you're really seeking, and what you're really scared of is not finding the true you. You see, what you're in search of is the wholeness of you. And that's why you search all these skills and all these talents, because you think in that you're going to find what you like. But in society, it teaches you to chase what's popular now. What's trendy now? Try that now. And you do. But at the end of the day, when you have all these things that you've tried and they don't really amount to one monumental thing that you can really show your legacy in, that starts to become empty because every time you start something new, you have to start over. And that can be exhausting and that can lead you to burnout. And that is not what you're building. That is not what you work so hard for, so that you can continue to hustle for the rest of your life. No, that's not the goal. And honestly, it's not sustainable. Yes, of course, when you're starting something, there is a little season of hustle, right? To get that good engine flowing. But there's a time where it balances itself out so that you don't have to work so hard and that it's able to be sustainable so that you're able to get in tune with what you're really involved in, understand it, the mechanics, the inside out, so you can really fall in love with it, but without overworking. Because every time you learn something, you want to be able to evolve with it. You don't want to have to start over from the very beginning every single time. That's not fun. That's not really ideal. And it's not the best use of your time either. And honestly, that's not even what you were built for. You weren't built to work and to get overworked and burned out and exhausted for the rest of your life. No, there's a systematic flow to everything, even your calling, even what you're meant to do. So that is why it's so important to find your purpose, because in that you're going to be able to understand all of the skill sets that you have and how they build into one another. You know, there's so many people that say that they have like multifaceted interests, but that's so beautiful. But when you really look in, it just goes to show that what you're meant to do, the power of your legacy is multi-layered and they should be working together. Of course, there's a difference if you have a hobby and you don't really want to make it something that you commit your life to, not like a stewardship or anything, but just something that you enjoy in your me time. That's okay. That's different. But when you have all these skill sets that you really want to pour into, there's going to be a way and you'll find it. You'll find how they all blend together, how they all work together. But you're not going to be able to see that clearly if you're continuously hustling your way through what you've built, because that is so exhausting and it makes you feel more lost. The harder you work, the more lost you feel. And there is a specific experience that you're going through when you feel that, and that it is what I have coined to be internal constraint. It's that crippling, invisible barrier that stops you from enjoying what you've built, because you know that you were built for something more. You know that you have a bigger purpose than what you're currently doing. Maybe you're stuck in a routine. Maybe you're stuck in analysis paralysis. Maybe you're stuck in preparation paralysis. There's somewhere along the way that you've gotten stuck. And in that, it's telling you something. Your internal intuition is telling you something. So it's not that you're off. It's not that you're wrong. It's not that you're broken. It's that you're misaligned. Because what you are called to do is meant to energize you, not deplete you. And I say it all the time. It's like a two-way street. Just like you're doing something, whether it's an act of service or a product you created or just anything that you really love to do, you're pouring it out, right? You're offering that to somebody else. But the person that receives it, you also get a benefit from it, whether it's their reaction, whether it's their appreciation, or just how it's been able to impact them. And you get to see the power of what you created. It's a twofold. So I say when you align with God, it's never an empty road. It's always a two-way street. Both parties will always get some type of benefit. And not in a like materialistic kind of way, but in such a nurturing, a soul feeding kind of way that it feels like a blessing. And that's what feels so good. And that's what nourishes you. And that's what excites you. And that's what keeps you in the game, in the process, in the growth. Because that's what it is being able to do something that although you're growing and you're evolving, you're able to sustain it because it's in such alignment with who you truly are. So if you are a high achiever and you've experienced this, but you just didn't know what to call it, or you didn't understand what it was, then I'm here to tell you that I understand. I completely understand, and I've been in your shoes before. And thank God that I was able to do the research and development and understand what it is. And not only understand it, but I've been able to create a personal development analysis to help you find out what is your primary internal constraint. So we do have a couple of them, but there's always going to be a primary one. So the best way to kind of clear that fog out is to understand which is the primary one. Because once we're able to see the primary one, then we're able to see how it trickles down to the other ones. Because we kind of do have a little bit of all of them, right? But one sometimes is a little bit more the leader that kind of trickles into the others. So if you have no idea what your internal constraint is, but you know that you have that internal void, and you're just scared that you're going to keep burning yourself out, trying all these different things and achieving so much because you really want to find the wholeness of you, because you really want to be able to reach your true potential, then I advise you to go ahead and take my personal development analysis. It is totally free and it's going to be linked down below. But if you already did the work and you were able to find what your internal constraints are and clear those out, and you're ready to really align with your purpose, then I do invite you to book a call with me. I will list the link below so that way we can go over some of the things you really want to achieve, what's already in alignment, what needs to be in alignment, and we can go through all that in a process of just 8 weeks, because you cannot spend another year optimizing what just doesn't work, reworking and working and overworking your plans, your strategies. Your calling, your purpose, your alignment does not need another strategy. I promise you. I tried that over and over and over again. That's not the key. That just leaves you in limbo. But what you need to do is really hone in to who you are, what you're meant to steward, and everything will fall into place. That you will never go back to hustle culture. You won't align with that feeling of always having to be under pressure, because it's not necessary. And you'll see there is a moment where you realize that everything really does work together. And at that point, you're going to be able to be changed and operate in a way that you always wanted to, you just didn't know how to. And truly, above all, as a personal development coach, I'd love to help you. But if I'm not the best fit for you, I don't want to do the disservice of providing you a service that may not be the best fit. So before you're able to book a call, there will be some intake forms that you will be filling out just to see if we're the right fit. Because at the end of the day, it's your purpose, it's your calling. And as long as you're ready to do the work, and as long as you're in that place in life where you're kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you're tired of like starting over and having to do all this again and again and again, but you really just want to be able to enjoy your life like you're meant to, then I want to be able to know that I am the right coach for you to help you through this. Because once we get through to the other side, you'll never be the same again, but it has to make sense. So before anything, I really want to make sure that I can serve you in the best way. So if you are interested, please fill out those intake forms below and see if we can be a good fit for one another, and I could become your coach in just 8 weeks, turn everything around from out of alignment to in alignment, so that you could truly live your best life, your dream life, without the pressure, without the tension, without the void, but in your wholeness and knowing that you are reaching your maximum potential. Feel good about that so that you are in alignment with your stewardship. Because I'm telling you, it is such a different feeling when you succeed in alignment versus just succeeding for the basis of achieving. It's different. As a high achiever, you'll start to love the true path that you're called for, not just achievements. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you enjoyed this episode and feel like it was insightful, then I ask you to please rate it, like it, and subscribe, and share it with someone you feel will enjoy it. I'll be back here next week, and we will continue to discuss matters regarding personal development. Take care, guys. Have a blessed week, and I'll see you next time.